Wike became a lawyer in 1998. By that time, I had been a lawyer for over 10 years, in Nigeria at least, right? And I have put in work in all manner of places. I have never been paid a salary by the Nigerian government or any institution in Nigeria except as a youth corper. I want Wike to say the same thing. The man has not had a legitimate life outside the Nigerian state. Okay? So I can understand the inferiority complex of someone like that, whose entire existence has been dependent on sucking from the feeding bottle, from the sovereign feeding bottle of Nigeria. Entirely. Legitimately and illegitimately. I can. Because Wike cannot tell me. If he can, let him please do so. But Wike cannot tell me that everything he has acquired and owns at the moment can be accounted for in terms of the legitimate earnings that he has had, number one, as a local government chairman, number two, as a chief of staff to the River State governor, number three, as a minister of a junior minister for education under President Jonathan, number four, as a governor of River State for 2 terms, and now as the FCT minister. If he can add up his earnings legitimately, including allowances legitimately, and be able to account for his acquisitions in terms of those legitimate earnings, let him say so. I can account for what I own and anything credited to me in terms of my legitimate earnings. I want Wike to say the same thing. If he can say that, I will be on the same pedestal. If he cannot, I am superior to him.
Yeah, I know.
And so I can understand that he is acting out his inferiority, his moral and ethical inferiority in relation to me. And for that, I cannot blame myself. I have lived legitimately. I can account for everything I have, everything that is attributed to my name. I invite Wike as a minister and as a lawyer and as a citizen to say exactly what I have said here. When I was chair of the National Human Rights Commission, I published my assets. They are still available online. I have not borrowed to send my children to school. Okay? I want him to just say something similar. I have not stolen from anybody to send my children to school. No, I have not. I want him to say the same thing. And the only thing, I want him to say the only thing I have is what I could legitimately earn in these offices I have occupied. That's all. Let him publish his assets. Let him publish his asset declaration forms. At that point, I will see him and myself as equals. If he is not, he cannot do any of these things. He cannot mop my shoes. No.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was former chairman of National Human Rights Commission, Professor Chidi Odinkalu. Professor Chidi Odinkalu is a professor of law. He has worked as an advisor for the Ford Foundation, New York, the World Bank, African Union, International Council for Human Rights Policy, Geneva, and many others. In August 2021, the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, United States, appointed Chidi Odinkalu a professor of human rights law. Now, this is the man that took on the FCT minister and the Judiciary in general because of Nyesom Wike and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's building of quarters for judges in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Building houses for judges in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Chidi Odinkalu has been among the vocal voices that have been pointing out alleged corruption in the judiciary. And when Chidi Odinkalu saw the way and manner that the Julius Berger land was acquired by Nyesom Wike and handed it over to the lawyer, to judges, as a land to build their quarters, Chidi Odinkalu rose in opposition to it, saying that this would lead to conflict of interest. Because if the Julius Berger was to go to court over the revocation of their land, how can they get justice when the land that was taken from them was given to the judges that are likely to sit on their petition? So these are several other instances that Chidi Odinkalu brought up to show that it was not right for the executive to be building houses for judges, that it was wrong. Now, Chidi Odinkalu is not alone in this observation. Even Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, had also voiced his concern about the conflict of interest that arose from the executive, FCT minister, or state governors building houses for judges. He said it's not right. It's not good, both legally and morally. Now, however, it was that of Chidi Odinkalu that Nyesom Wike responded to. When Nyesom Wike was commissioning a project, and he was talking about other things, and then he brought in Chidi Odinkalu's matter. Even though he didn't mention Chidi Odinkalu by name, he said that somebody showed him something that was written by somebody. They say he's a professor. And when we ask professor of where, they say nobody knows. He said, they ask professor of where, professor of which university? They say nobody knows. He said nobody knows. In other words, he was saying that Professor Odinkalu was a nobody. And then he went on to say that how did Professor Odinkalu run the Human Rights Commission when he was there? I think it was as a result of that Odinkalu decided to talk about Nyesom Wike. Because perhaps you don't know Nyesom Wike. That was why you can see he began by talking about that. He was already 10 years practicing as a lawyer before Nyesom Wike was called to the bar in 1998. And then he began to talk about things he has been able to do. And he challenged Nyesom Wike to publish his asset declaration, because he noted that Nyesom Wike has served as local government chairman, he has served as junior minister of education, he has served as governor for 2 terms, he has served now as minister. He challenged Nyesom Wike to provide evidence that all the income he had now, that they are all based on his salaries and emoluments from what he had, all those periods he served. And he made bold to say that when he was chairman of a Human Rights Commission, he published his asset declaration that is still online. In other words, he was telling Nyesom Wike, put your asset declaration form online. If you can do that, if you can provide evidence that all your earnings are legitimate. But I think the most important challenge is that of putting his asset declaration online, like Chidi Odinkalu. That's what she was asking for. So if you don't do that, then I'm superior than you. So you cannot dismiss me with a wave of hands. And if somebody like Professor Odinkalu can put his asset declaration online for public consumption, which the only leader in Nigeria who have been able to do it so courageously was President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, then it says a lot about the confidence Professor Chidi Odinkalu has in his own personal integrity. And he challenged the minister to do the same. That is a challenge that all Nigerians should be watching, whether he is going to take up that challenge. But the message is clear. When somebody said something or wrote something about your administration, there's no point going personal. Just address the issue. Professor Chidi Odinkalu raised issue of conflict of interest in the building of houses for the judges. The best thing would have been for Nyesom Wike, if we want to talk about it, is to justify it legally, morally, why it is your duty and that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to provide accommodation for judges, build quarters for them. You are more concerned about their welfare. But what about the welfare of other workers in FCT? What about quarters for teachers, primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, nurses, doctors, admin officers in the civil service? What about their own accommodation? Why is the president not worried about them, their accommodation? Why is the president not worried? Why is the minister of FCT not worried about the accommodation of teachers? But they are more concerned about the accommodation of judges. That was the thing that Chidi Odinkalu was drawing attention to. And Chidi Odinkalu alleged that what the executive is doing by building houses for judges is to allegedly influence outcome of judicial processes. That was what he was arguing. So but what was required from the minister was to counter him with a superior argument and say why it is essential that these judges are accommodated. The minister himself has said that it is to avoid them being influenced. That was the reason, so that the judges will not be influenced by anybody, because they are well accommodated. But who are the people that can influence judges in Nigeria? Is it Professor Chidi Odinkalu? Is it the ordinary Nigerians? Recently, when there was a report written by National Bureau of Statistics and United Nations Organization for Drugs and Crime. They did a research together and found out that post-2023 election, judges were the highest bribe takers in Nigeria. They collected billions as bribe. That's what that report said. It wasn't Chidi Odinkalu that wrote it. It was written by United Nations Agency that deals with drugs and crime in collaboration with National Bureau of Statistics of Nigeria, federal government agency, and reported that judges collected billions in cash to pervert justice in 2023 post 2023 election. It wasn't Chidi Odinkalu that wrote it. It therefore means that it was the politicians that can actually corrupt the judges and not ordinary Nigerians. So even that defense that the judges don't want the judges to be influenced, that's why they are building houses, it falls flat by that report by United Nations Agency and National Bureau for Statistics. It's politicians. Those monies that was talked about that was paid as bribe to judges were paid in cash according to that report. So you can therefore understand the concern of Professor Odinkalu and Femi Falana when they are raising issues about building of houses for judges in Abuja, for which Nyesom Wike reacted and responded to. And then Professor Odinkalu has to fire back, and he was asking that he don't know the university where the professor that wrote the thing was from. Well, at least he now knows that Professor Odinkalu is an academic par excellence in law. And it's not an easy task. He's not a quota professor. For him to be appointed a professor of human rights law in United States University, that's not a tea party. And of course, he has said why he believes that he more superior to Nyesom Wike. That superiority he was talking about is not about wealth. It is about integrity. It's about honesty. It's about public service. That's what he's claiming. That's why he is. He said, if you think you are superior to me, let us do what I have done. My records are there. They are online. My asset declaration is there. Go and check it out. If you cannot bring your own asset declaration and make it public and publish it online and defend your own what today financially, then that's I, Chidi Odinkalu. I am more superior than you. That's what Odinkalu, the message he has sent to Nyesom Wike. I don't know what to think about this exchange between Nyesom Wike and Professor Chidi Odinkalu. Whatever is your position on this matter, which is of national importance, because it has to do with independence of the judiciary. Whatever you think about this, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.